Hi, I'm Jackson,
And I'm Ross.
and welcome to the P2 podcast. Co-op or versus, we're here to discuss.
Today, we're going to give our personal experiences with gaming in 2020.
We're also going to discuss some of the current gaming news and a retrospective of gaming in 2020. Now let's push start.
Our first segment will be Jackson's 2020 gaming experiences. Okay, let's start.
So my 2020 year in gaming was pretty busy. I beat Persona 5 and have started Persona 5 Royal. I've also completed Titanfall 2, Uncharted, and Breath of the Wild.
Ooh, that's a major game.
Yes, it started on my Wii U back in like 2017. Forgot the game existed for a while and then remembered it, booted up my old Wii U, and just beat it a couple months ago. I'll eventually get around to doing Master Mode on the Switch at some point.
Master Mode is very hard.
So I've heard. Don't they have like gold bokoblins and other enemies?
Oh, the gold enemies are just insane, but let's continue.
Right. Additionally, I've played quite a bit of the Final Fantasy VII Remake and the original game. I've also been playing a lot of Overwatch and Mario Maker 2, as well as Super Smash Bros.
This won't be the last time you'll hear our Final Fantasy VII during this podcast.
No, it will probably bring it up quite a bit. My brother last year during Christmas bought me the Dark Souls trilogy for the PS4, and let me tell you, that is the perfect little brother gift. Here you go, Jackson. Here's a game that you'll have some fun with, but it'll also make you rage and rage and rage and rage even more.
The perfect little brother gift would just be, oh yeah, here's something to make you rage, and that's it, no fun. I am a little brother, I can confirm.
Yes, but with Dark Souls, I want to keep back and going into the game instead of just, oh, that made me rage once. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to keep playing because I want to beat this challenge.
Yeah, then it's not the perfect little brother gift. Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
I've also been playing a lot of Monster Hunter and Fire Emblem Three Houses, and a couple weeks ago, I bought Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, the first game in the Fire Emblem series, finally translated and localized into English and released here in the Western market.
And you got it at the right time since it won't be around for long, but we'll get to that later.
Yes, we will.
And I guess it's time for my gaming experiences.
Yes, Ross, what was your 2020 like? Was in the world of video games?
I started off my year just going through some of my backlog, and I'll continue to do that for the rest of the year because I have a large backlog of games.
Don't we all?
But when March came around, there was one big game that changed everything. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Rescue Team DX. I played that for a bit, then Animal Crossing came out, and I played that for months.
Yes, Animal Crossing, the great time waster and void filler of 2020.
You see, what I did there was called the bait and switch. You thought I was going to talk about Animal Crossing, but I talked about Pokemon. You see, Animal Crossing is what I actually want to talk about because I put in a lot of hours in Animal Crossing. When it got revealed, and when was it revealed? A year or two ago? I
Something
think it
like
was
that.
it was officially announced when Isabelle was coming to Smash Brothers, but we didn't get a title, so I'd say around last year we got lots of details and it got me excited for this game. So I picked it up and it's good. It has a few problems, but they're working some of them out. I don't think they can fix the soundtrack though, because the soundtrack isn't bad, it's just not my favorite. It also needs some good online things, because the online is okay, but could be better. And there's not many long-term goals besides just getting 5 stars for your island. But yeah, well, that was one of the games I played. 2 games this year, and the other one was Dragon Quest XI, a 100-hour-long JRPG.
Doesn't it have a very long full title?
Oh, I was playing Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition for Nintendo Switch because there's 2 other versions out of S now. Like I don't have to add for the Nintendo Switch, but I was playing it on the Switch because it came out first on Switch. But yeah, that game is really fun. It's like a classic JRPG, but like better. Like they like to mess with some of the things. It's just so good. Like
Can't you
you got like yeah. What
can't
you
you
have?
play in like both 3D like the 3D graphics and like
Yeah, you can.
traditional like pixelated graphics?
Yeah, you can switch between 3D and 2D. I did not mess with the 2D feature. There are a lot of features in this game though. Like so many that I didn't even get to mess around with. Like everything. It's a massive game.
Replayability.
I like put like 120-ish hours, maybe 25 hours into the game, and the I just now beat like all the story content. Like
Wow.
yeah, and I need to like do a few more things to wrap it up. But yeah, really good game, and those two games basically summarize my entire 2020.
No,
Except for the fact that I also did some speed running, which
yes.
I
And you dragged me into some of those speedruns as well.
yeah, I started off speedrunning The World Ends With You because it's my favorite game of all time. But then I decided, you know what? I already got the record for that, so I might as well go for Minecraft. And I was like, I need friends because I'm bad at speedrunning Minecraft. And so I dragged Jackson in with me
And a few
and a
other
few other.
people, but
Yeah.
I was the great collector of food. So that way we wouldn't run out of food and all die of starvation while we were fighting the boss.
The sheer amount of like, oh yeah, let's just continue with this bad seed, like shocks me. Like after I picked it up speedrunning again, because if you actually want a good time, you have to be super picky on what seed you actually start going on.
Like
If, you,
extremely picky.
if there's not a village in sight, then you might as well just reset.
Wow.
Or yeah, it's brutal. And speaking of brutal, let's talk about 2020's current gaming news. We are currently talking on December 15th, so that's around the current news era where we're talking right now.
So earlier today, Among Us was announced for the Switch. Um,
Yeah, along with Spelunky and
oh
Spelunky
yeah,
2.
both of the Spelunky games are coming out on the Switch.
I've
That's
heard
going to
good,
be fun.
yeah, I've heard good things about them.
Yeah, I played the original Spelunky on one of my cousin's computers many years ago. I'm talking about the original, not the like more recently the like remastered one. But it's a very brutal, very difficult, but very fun game.
Yeah. I never thought they would do Among Us on Switch because I don't think it has any other console ports.
No, it doesn't. Just iOS or mobile and computer. How are they going to do the tasks on the Switch
I don't know. I don't have
or
$5 to get it.
chat? Or I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even want to imagine typing things out with the keyboard on Switch. Like, it's a very much a communication based game, and having to slowly type it out with like, God, no.
Yeah, that's going to be really crazy.
Will be easier, but docked, no. Um, Besides that, if we go back like a few days, there was a major announcement for Super Smash Bros. Being that Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII is coming to Smash Bros.
Yes, Sephiroth. He is joining the roster, joining the battle. I never saw that coming. Never saw it. We're gonna get another Square Enix character, much less a Final Fantasy character. Seeing how we
Like,
got only two tracks as Cloud,
yeah, Final Fantasy deserves more music tracks,
but hopefully
but
we'll get some more with Sephiroth.
if we were going to get any Final, if we were going to get any Final Fantasy character, Sephiroth would be it. But any Square character as a whole, I want my boy Neku Sakuraba from the World Ends With You, but that would never happen.
Maybe a assist trophy.
Not as an assist trophy, like maybe me costume at the best. I hope he doesn't get revealed as a me costume. I'll be both upset and happy, kind of. Like, I wouldn't mess a character, but me costume would be fine. And speaking of like Sephiroth being revealed, he was revealed at the Game Awards, which the Game Awards happened recently, and
Yes.
they were like the Game of the Year award was given to The Last of Us Part Two, but shocked nobody since it won like every award, even though it was like very divided when it came out. I'm pretty sure people still don't like it. Like some people like it, some people don't. It's just like a mixed bag.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of what's happened with a lot of the Naughty Dog games. Like some people absolutely love them, and some people just vehemently hate Naughty Dog games, and that's just kind of how it goes.
I think it's more so this game specifically because it ostracizes some of like the fans of like The Last of Us because of certain plot points.
Oh, well, I'm currently like making my way through The Last of Us Remastered on my PS4 because I'm not a big horror game fan. I'm not a huge fan of horror, so like I got it as like it was bundled in with my PS4 when I bought it like November of 2019. So I've been slowly trying to work my way through it and like muster up the courage and willpower to keep pushing myself through.
Yeah, the sequel won Game of the Year. The other like major contender for it would have been Animal Crossing, since that defined this year basically, but it didn't win. But it did win Best Family Game, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
In other gaming news, Cyberpunk 2077 finally released, and it's a buggy mess, from
Yes,
what I've heard.
honestly, I still think Cyberpunk they probably should have waited, just pushed it back till 2021 on their first couple rounds of delays. But they promised their shareholders and the fans that it would be released like the December 12th, and then people were getting all antsy about it, so they released it when it still wasn't fully finished.
Yeah, it needed a bit more time in the oven.
Yes, it's a bit
I think it's like right now the score is just like 7 out of 10, which is like mediocre for game scores. So
right. Yeah,
I haven't looked too much into it, but it seems like it just didn't go down as like a mediocre game.
yeah. I think give it like a month or two, maybe even less than that. They'll put some patches in, give it a couple updates, and it'll be all better.
Well, that's all of our current news. But what about news from the rest of the year?
So,
Because
speaking of other games that have finally came out, this year in 2020, back in March, no, April 10th, Final Fantasy VII Remake finally released after being teased and announced 5 years ago back in E3 2015. Finally released.
yeah, and it goes even back further because they have had like a trailer for they had like a tech demo for the PlayStation 3 that was of like Midgard from Final Fantasy 7. So like yeah, people were like getting excited for a remake for a long time.
I'm gonna tell you the orchestrated. Uh, some people thought like I don't know. I was a bit curious on how they were gonna take some of the like the very iconic and defining music from the PlayStation One and put it and change it to be more like the more modern video game music. And I think they updated and orchestrated the soundtrack beautifully.
I haven't even played much of Final Fantasy 7, but I heard the remake soundtrack and it's really good.
Yes.
Oh yeah, our gaming retrospective of like news as a whole, by the way.
Right. Yes.
I cut off halfway, but yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Let's talk about Animal Crossing because Animal Crossing came out on March 20th, I
Yes, March
believe.
20th, 2020, as did another game, and their simultaneous release sparked a lot of memes. Uh, we are, of course, I am,
And
of course, talking about Doom Eternal,
Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing came out on the same day.
the unlikely duo nobody expected, but somehow paired together perfectly. Somehow.
Yeah, they're like polar opposites, which makes them like fun to like interact.
Yes.
You have Doom, which rip and tear demons, and you have Animal Crossing is like, oh yeah, talk to this dog, um, plant a tree, have
I
fun.
remember seeing this one mildly disturbing video of it was Isabel ripping and tearing into some of the demons from Doom Eternal, and just seeing the carnage erupt.
Yeah, but Animal Crossing as a whole was more than just the memes. Like,
Right. I think both games were more than just the memes. Like the memes really helped with publicity and just kind of uniting two very different fan bases together, and some of them getting people to buy the other game when they probably wouldn't have bought the other one in the first place. But both of the games kind of are more than just their memes.
you want to talk about publicity? Animal Crossing exploded this year because of COVID. Like,
Yes.
it's the perfect.
I think this was probably it's the perfect year for it. It came out at the perfect time, right? As people were entering quarantine and lockdowns, and you couldn't go outside. So why not go away on a private island to get private, but why not go out on an island getaway and do all of your interaction there?
Yeah, people who don't even play video games played Animal Crossing. Like, I think I think a President was it Joe Biden who used an Animal Crossing for like
Yeah, he
for
did
like
some campaigning on there.
yeah. Then Nintendo was like, "Oh yeah, don't use Animal Crossing for political advertising after the fact."
Oh well,
Yeah, exploded
what
this
can
year.
you do?
Then over the summer, not much happened unless you have something to add for like the summer.
Over the
Oh,
summer specifically, just not a whole lot of games came out because all production pretty much ground to a halt. I think Min Min was announced during the summer for Super Smash Bros., which was a pretty big deal.
yeah,
Well,
and Steve, Min Min and Steve
Steve
were
was, I mean, I should have seen it coming because in a this how Smash Bros. Has become where it's changed from just Nintendo's eight of Nintendo's All Stars duking it out to this giant roster that's basically the kind of museum and a celebration of gaming and the industry and its history as a whole. Uh, I should have expected that the character of the best-selling video game of all time would eventually make it onto the roster.
yeah, Minecraft Steve in the roster is like something people should have expected, but it's still weird to see.
Yes, I will say I was freaking out a little bit, and I know the internet freaked out because Steve literally crashed Twitter after the announcement came out.
Yeah, I don't. I think that only happened like whenever Michael Jackson died, and the other time was when Steve was revealed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also in summer, I almost forgot. Among Us started to blow up.
Yes.
This little indie game from 2017 just came up out of nowhere and took the public like uh public eye by storm. Yeah, public eye by storm. Because like considering the fact that we literally brought it up like for today's news, like, oh yeah, it came out on Nintendo Switch. That just like proves that it's still in like the public eye.
Yes, and they're going to be during the Game Awards. They announced that the airship from Henry Stickmin infiltrating the airship is going to be their next map.
Yeah, you could also have gotten Jeff Keighley's face if you were on mobile. For those of you who don't know, he hosted a game if you're on mobile, if you're on PC. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, Jeff Keighley hosted the Game Awards, and I really wanted that, but I couldn't get it. I'm sad now.
Yes. Also this summer, in due to COVID-19, Nintendo was unable to do any major directs, but they were able to do these direct mini partner showcases, which some people got their hopes up thinking they just saw mini direct and thought, "Ooh, that's going to be like Breath of the Wild 2 or a Metroid Prime 4 or like a Smash Bros reveal." When it's really
It
more talking about their third
has
party partners.
it has partner showcase in
Yes,
the name. What do you
no, but
else? Like there were some decent
well,
reveals
there was
from
a
them.
pretty major reveal that happened during the, I think, August or
It was the first
what?
one. It was the
Yeah, during
first
the
one.
August partner showcase. After 3 years of silence, Atlas finally came out with another trailer for the Shin Megami Tensei 5. Uh, this game had been teased at the launch of the Switch, and then for 3 years, absolutely nothing. No
17.
more, no news, no nothing from Atlas about the game. And then back in August, they brought out a new cinematic trailer and announced that it was going to have a simultaneous worldwide release sometime in 2021.
Yeah. Also, in a later one of them, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 got announced, and that's neat. Like, nobody expected that game to get a sequel, but it did.
What would you do? How would you make a sequel of Puyo Puyo Tetris 2? Would you like add more game modes or expand the campaign?
What are you are you already theorizing for a Puyo Puyo Tetris 3?
No.
Is
I'm
that
wondering more. How do you make? What do you put in a sequel of the original Puyo Puyo
um
Tetris? Like,
game modes and added like some more a different
no, okay.
story. Like, yeah. Um, let's see. Mario's 35th anniversary happened this year, which was
Yes,
major.
Nintendo had a huge 35th like mini Mario's 35th anniversary mini direct, which was almost I think 40 minutes long, so I wouldn't really call that a mini direct. But they introduced a new Mario merchandise, like
It,
a soft revive of the Game and Watch console, kind of.
yeah, it has Mario as like the first few Mario's on it.
Yes,
Then there also revealed like some like clothes and shoes and all that, and a Mario
yes,
Battle
Mario
Royale.
35. It's
But
a very interesting and chaotic game, but I've played it a few times. It's fun.
yeah, but the major reveal from that was Super Mario 3D All Stars, which is a collection of Mario's 3D like outings, basically the
Super
major
Mario
ones.
64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy, all on one cartridge and one game on this Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it, I'm not sure why they didn't include Galaxy 2 or like 3D Land. I get why they didn't include 3D World because that's also getting re-released on the
Right.
Switch. But yeah,
Yes, but
3D Land's more
I
successful. But Galaxy 2,
yeah, I don't understand the Galaxy 2, but I, as along with many other players, are very excited and was very excited to be able to experience Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine for the first time. And I was super excited to relive Mario Galaxy on an upscaled graphics.
yeah. But if you want to play the games, well then you better get them before March 31st because basically everything from Mario is just disappearing that
Yes,
day. Everything like is going like Mario 35 that will be gone by then. Well, Mario 3D All Stars are gonna stop selling it. Like,
Super
and,
Mario Maker 1 uh, is going to stop level. You will no longer be able to upload levels on March 35th, 31st, 2021.
yeah,
You can still play and download levels from the internet, but you will not be able to upload anymore.
yeah, and it's not just Mario because the Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon re-release re-release in the translation in America for Switch is also going that day. Nintendo is just pulling everything from on 31st.
Right.
Yeah. Is there any other major news we need to talk
Well,
about?
if we're talking about kind of the retrospective of 2021, we got the rest of the ninth console generation released and filled out,
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The
and the
PlayStation
Xbox
5
Series
and
X.
both got like revealed this year and are released now. And everybody wants a PlayStation 5 and nobody wants a PlayStation not PlayStation. Xbox Series X. Almost a
Yes,
PlayStation
well,
Series X.
PlayStations have been selling out with in both their pre-orders and after launch very fast, and so they've got a high demand and
It's not
pretty low supply. But I feel like the supply will start getting back up. And I mean, I'm gonna get a PS5 eventually. I still have a very functioning and PS4 that works well on its own, so I'm not gonna like pay the $600 right at launch.
yeah, and it's not just like the Xbox is also selling out. You can't buy
Right.
either of
I mean,
them.
it's a new
Like,
console. Launches, new generation launches are a huge thing. And it,
yeah, but still, this is also like a major like news. The Switch is still outselling basically everything.
well, I
Like,
mean, the PS5 is basically only a month old, and the Switch has had a 65
even
million unit head start so far.
per month, it's outselling everything. It outsold the PlayStation 5 during its launch month. It outsold both of the consoles during their launch months. That's probably because there was no supply. But just thinking about like this one console is just selling like hotcakes. Like even if like Sony gets their supply out, I'm not sure like if it will actually overtake the Switch sales because
I'm
it's selling.
Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, I think that's everything for today. Today, we talk about our 2020 gaming experiences and 2020 gaming as a whole. Join us next time for more gaming content.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening.